welcome to another Raid Shadow Legend video. My name is Talstard, Legend of Shadows. Today we are playing on my second account. And we will be doing some dailies and some advance. Get ready for the 7th anniversary fusion and the 7-year anniversary celebration, and just having fun, still hunting for some of the assassins. I don't think we will get any others than Ezio, but we're still gonna try. And I hope all you will enjoy. Push like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that. It will only help my account grow and help my followers to grow. And I hope you all enjoy it, and we will get started. Let's see what the rewards are for today from the reward calendar. We got some merciless accessories and accessories. We have 5 days to get Ezio's 5-star soul, so I think we will do it. 500 energy. We have some of the new Argonites champions have joined the raid. This is the festival celebration and the creation, and this festival of creation to start we have a few fusion warm up. We have an extra legendary in secret shards, I think, in 2 days. Some tournaments we don't know what is. We have a summon pool where we can get 2 of the Argonites, I think. And some special offers and so on. This is what we get from the 7-year celebration. So it will be a calendar for some special gifts. As you can see, we get 3 ancient shards, a legendary book, and 200,000 silver. Today we will get the secret shards in 3 days and a prism primal shards in 5 days. That will only help me. We get the free mystery shard. Now we can claim that 3-pack. Nope. We have the market. Let's buy some mystery shards. Some more news. Seven brews, some for the fragments, 20k silver, 1 legendary book, 3 ancient shards, 200,000 silver, and a demon lord key. a celebration pack. What you get in this 12 ancient shards. These 2 5-star chickens, but I'm not going to use money on this account, so person item of the market. Let's check in with the clan. Perception, and we got some. Here we got some merciless for the Argonauts. We got 4 accessories for the Argonauts, and the rest of the merciless. No, the merciless set we got. Here. No, here. You got it. So I can't put a knight set, merciless set on Chesercat because he's not an Argonite. I don't know what that 3-pack is. If I had, but she is, as you can see, we have 1 Argonite in Caborn the Underflame in the summon pool, and we got Moldua also in the summon pool. And we got, let's see, who was it? Her is an epic from the Argonauts. Claim. Okay, claim free gift, okay. Thank you, Valeria, for the prism charge. That means that I can summon my first here, but I will wait for 4 days. 40 for 100 and 120 for a free summoning is a free summoning. I'm happy with that. Now let's just start doing some dailies. Let's do our 5 classic arena. Let's see, let's do this. 2. This will be 3. It's 39, 39. Let's do this first. That's 4. And this will be 5. And that was 5. Let's summon 3 champions. That's a troll. That's a lurker. And the last one is a ranger. Then we're gonna upgrade 1 champion. Let's see, let's do our lowest champion. That's 3 levels. And we get some Ezio points to get our primal shard. Upgrade an artifact. That's 1. And then we have the campaign. Now let's see, what do we have here to do? We have Hello Horse here. But we need to do this first. Then upgrade Affinity bonus to level 2. And unlock Tier 3 masteries for 2 champions. We have unlocked it for 1. I don't want to use 300 diamonds just to get the Void Keep open. So we are only going to do this and try to get ourselves her. where we need her for the last mission in the airbinder mission for this run. So I need to get her. And we get to level her up. That's one. I'm going to go over the kits for the new Argonites, just for fun, after these 7 battles. So we can have a look. This will be the third. And also check out the fusion that starts, it starts tomorrow. And it's a classic fusion, so you need 16 rares to forge to 4 epics, then force them to 1 legendary. That was 3. This will be 4. Sorry for my coughing, man. I'm a bit sick for the time being, so that's why I'm coughing. That's 4. This will be 5. Let's do all the daily quests. We will do all the daily quests when we do these 7 battles. We only need the 7 battles and the 50, using 50 energy, so That's 5, and we got a new champion, Outridge. Not the champion we are looking for, because I want War Maiden. This would be 6. This be a 6. And last battle now. And that's 7. And that's not War Maiden, that's Spirit Walker. And we got the energy. We got Outreach. We get him. Now we're going to check on the Argonauts. Let's start with the rares. We have Blade Rider. He is an attack-based champion from the Argonauts. Dual slash attack one enemy 2 times. Each critical hit will ignore 5% of the target's defense. Then we have Sword Clutch. Attack one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Will repeat the attack against all other enemies if this champion is under increased attack. Book up to a 3 turn cooldown and a 75% chance of placing stun for 1. Immensis Barrage. Attack all enemies before attacking, placing a 25% increased attack buff on a 50% and a 50% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Each critical hit fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. Book down to a 3 turn cooldown that too. And increase ally attack and faction grips by 21%. That's the first rare. The second rare, Grimson Pegson. Grimson Pegason. He's an HP based champion. Staggering Strike. Attack one enemy has a 15% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Book up to a 30% chance of placing stun. He's A2. It's a 6 turn cooldown. Book down to a 4 turn cooldown. Stains of Steel places a taunt buff on this champion for 1 turn. Also places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 50% of this champion's max HP, book up to 35% of this champion's max HP. His passive, military discipline. When this champion is attacked, has a 5% chance of decreasing all incoming damage to 0. Book up to a 25% chance. And he got increased ally HP in all battles by 15%. Then we have Acolyte of the Slither. Darklight Spear. Attack one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of decreasing the target turn meter by 5%. If the target is under a decreased speed debuff, each hit has a 35% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10% instead. Book up to a 60% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter. A 5-turn cooldown, reduced to ash. Attack all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Heals all ally by 50% of their max HP. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown, and book up to a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased speed. His A3, it's a 5-turn cooldown, book down to a 3-turn cooldown, place a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, fills the turn meter of all allies by 50%. And he has an increased ally speed in dungeon by 16%. That was the rares. Then we have the epics. Lion's Guard Galathea. She is an attack-based epic. Pride Strike. Attack one enemy. Place an extra hit if the target is under decreased defense debuff. Decrease the target's turn meter by 10%. Apex Slice. It's a 5-turn cooldown. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Attack one enemy. Place a block revive debuff if the target is killed. Fill this champion turn meter by 30%. And she is also she is a champion that you have a chance to get in the prison pool, in the prison shard pools. Is her A3, Aspirant of Teosumi. Attack all enemies, will ignore 50% of the target's defense if they are Spirit Affinity, will ignore 25% of the target's defense if there are any other affinities. Activate the Apex Slice, her A3, or her A2, I mean, on a random enemy whose HP was decreased by more than 50% for this skill. Of course, once per skill. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown. And her passive, Lion's Guard Lesson. Before attacking, has a 25% chance of removing any decreased attack debuff of this champion and replacing them with their mirrored buff equalizer that will see increased attack. Also have a 25% chance of removing any increased defense buff on enemies and replacing them with the mirrored debuff equalizer that will see decreased defense. Book up to a 50% chance. Then we have Deep Hook Nagis. She's a defense base epic. Her A1, Catching Prey. Attack one enemy. Has a 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff 1 turn. book up to a 60% chance of placing provoke. Remove all debuffs from this champion and a single target ally. Place a 50% ally protection buff and a 25% strength buff and a 50% increased attack buff on that target ally for 2 turns. Then fills the turn meter of this champion to the target and the target's ally by 15%. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Sea Snake Sergeant. Sea Snake Surge. A 6-turn cooldown, book down to a 4-turn cooldown. Has an 80% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Also have a 40% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns. Book up to a 100% chance of placing a 20% weakened and a 60% chance of placing stun. Her passive. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, heal all allies by 10% of their max AP and fill their turn meter by 10%. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, also places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 1 turn. Book down to a 1-turn cooldown. And she has increased ally defense in all battles by 25%. That was epics. Now we have the legendaries. We have Cassandra from the Assassin's Creed collab. We can mention her too. Let's see. Her A1, West Wind Rush. Attack 1 enemy 3 times, attack 1 enemy 6 times instead if this champion has a 50% HP or less. Each hit decreases the enemy turn meter by 7.5 and increases this champion turn meter by 7.5. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under Whale or Perfect Whale. Spear on Leonidas. Attack 1 enemy before attacking, placing a 60% decreased defense debuff and a HP burn debuff on the target for 3 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted if champion is under Whale or Perfect Whale. Place a stun debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if the damage dealt by this skill is more than 50% of the target's max HP. These debuffs cannot be resisted if the champion is under Whale or Perfect Whale. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. For A3. Isu Blessing. Remove all debuffs from this champion, heal them by 50% of their max HP, and fill the turn meter by 50%. Place a 50% increased attack buff, and a 50% shattered buff, and a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Her passive effect. Prevent this champion death and keep them alive on 1 HP if they're under an increased attack buff, shatter buff, and an increased speed buff. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown. Everything is permitted. The same passive that every assassin have. Whenever an enemy drops below 25% after receiving damage from any assassin, they receives additional bonus damage proportional to this champion's attack. This bonus damage will ignore 100% of their target's defense and cannot be critical. And her own passive, Blood of Sparta. Whenever this champion attack an enemy, increase this champion's attack by amount equal to 50% of the target's defense. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, increase this champion's defense by amount equal to 50% of their attacker's attack. And she got speed, 90% speed in all battles. As Aurora. Now we have Glorious Palace. She's a support champion. Spear of Serenity. Attack 1 enemy with one random ally from the Argonite faction. The ally joins the attack will use their default skill. Heal all allies by 10% if the of this champion's max HP. Book up to 30% of this champion's max HP. Gift of Talos. Remove all debuffs from all allies and place in a block debuff, buff, and a favor buff on all allies for 2 turns. It book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Fever if anybody don't want, you will get. You will do 10% more damage when you attack, and you will receive 10% less damage when you are attacked. That's a fever buff. Glorious Revival. Revive all dead allies with 50-50 HP and 50-50 turn meter, placing a 25% strengthen buff and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Book down to a 4-turn cooldown. It's a 7-turn cooldown. Her passive. Whenever an ally receives a debuff, places a shield buff on that ally equal to 20% of their max HP for 1 turn. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15 at the end of the champion's turn. And she got ally resistance plus 50 in all battles is her aura. Then we have the champion that's also available in the Prism Shard pool. Cabron the Underflame. Fiery Rend. Attack one enemy 2 times. Has a 70% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff. Decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Has a 50% chance of attacking with this skill whenever an enemy has an HP burn debuffs activated on them. Occurs 1 per turn. Searing Brand. Attack one enemy 2 times before attacking, placing a Death Brand debuff on the target for 2 turns. Will ignore Unkillable and Shield buff, as well as 25% of the target's defense. Activate this champion's Pioneering Power skill if the target is killed. If the target survives, fill this champion turn meter by 50% instead. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. And this is the Pioneer Power. Attack all enemies before attacking, placing a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Fill this champion turn meter by 20% for each HP burn debuff placed on an enemy, and fill this champion's turn meter by 10% for each HP burn debuff resisted by the enemy. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown and a 100% chance of placing HP burn. And his passive, his Underflame Protection, and his activate a delay effect on this champion whenever they receive a fatal hit. Passive effect heals this champion by 20% of their max HP whenever a HP burn debuff is activated on an enemy. And we have whenever a HP burn debuff on any enemy expires or is removed, place a True Fear debuff on that enemy for 1 turn. And he got 20% more attack in all battles. And then we have Storm Herald Hecton. Our Void Legendary is a defense-based champion. Fulmitian Rupture. Attack one enemy. Has a 75% chance of placing a Provoke debuff and an Enfeeble debuff on the target for 1 turn. Also have a 25% chance that these debuffs cannot be resisted. If each enemy has a number of buffs that is equal to or less than this champion, attack all enemies instead. This attack is always critical and still have a 25 chance placing provoke and enfeeble on all enemies for 1 turn. Also, the 25% chance of if they resist that they can't not resist it. Book up to a 100% chance. Eye of the Storm. Attack one enemy before attacking, placing a 60% increased defense buff for 2 turns and 1 Storm Cold stack on all allies. This attack is always critical if the number of buff on the targets is equal to less than this champion. It will ignore Stone skill buff and a 50% of their target's defense if the number of buff and targets is equal to less than the champion. If this attack kills the target, decreases the turn meter of all other enemies by amount equal to the turn meter that the target had. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. And let's see, Stormcaller. Let's see. What Stormcaller is there. Stormcaller. Each Stormcaller stack increases the damage dealt by a champion by 5%. The number of stacks increases by 1 each time a champion with Stormcaller lands a critical hit. A champion can have a maximum of 5 Stormcaller stacks at once. When attacking with 5 Stormcalls, attack placing a stun debuff on the target and removes all Stormcaller stacks. This stun debuff cannot be resisted. So that's Stormcaller. Skyfather's Bond. It's its A3. Placing a 30% increased crit rate buff and a block damage buff and a counter-attack buff on a target ally for 2 turns. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 25%. Book down to a 3-turn cooldown. His passive. Whenever an ally under a Stormcall stack placed by this champion lands a critical hit, this champion deals additional pure damage to the target. If the target is not a boss or a minion, the pure damage dealt equal to 2% of the target's max HP for each buff on this champion stack up to 10%. If the target is a boss or a minion, the pure damage dealt is equal to 3% of the target's max HP. This damage cannot be critical, of course 1 per skill and once per target, does not count as an action hit. This pure damage ignores shield, block damage and strengthen. If there are multiple champions on the tab, the only one will is for the other. That's okay. And he got 20% more speed in all battles. So that's the Argonites, our newest faction. Now let's just continue. Win 30 materials in a classic arena battle. Okay, we have 6. This is going to take some time. I didn't see him. Men I need to check. Let's see. Okay, we got 1. You just have to still try. Let's see how many we can do. That's 8. That's 10. That's 11. That's 12. That one I can't do, it's too powerful. That's 13. $14. $16. 17. Let's see. $19. 20. 21. I'm not sure, but I'm going to check now if we have 21. Yeah, 21. $23. 24. 25. $26. $28. One more. Help. $31. That was a heck of a grind. Fighting classic team. Okay. Classic arena. We're going to do a classic arena battle once more. With 4 different affinities. So we need to take out in and put in per. Use 3 glyphs. Let's do this one. Long speed. Then this. Let's do accuracy. Let's do attack. That was 3. And we have done 10 arena battles. Now we only need to spend energy. Next. Fight tag team arenas. That's 1. Let's see. This is the only one we can do here, so let's try to do it. Don't think we will do. He might think we can do it. Mikey, I don't think we can do. He's gonna kill us anyway. As you can see. Now we only got to go left. I don't think we can do this either. Yeah. We're dead. Just gonna try. And they have no chance. Yeah. Just like that. We are all dead. Yeah. Like I said, no chance in hell. I'm surprised that we have survived so long against Prince Kaimar. We might beat Gamer. This will also kill us. As you can see, we have no chance against Stag Knight. It's too powerful. He takes out Tolden with one shot. And since we can't stop his healing, he will heal just the same amount what we are doing damage. No, skip won't stand. Yeah, we are dead. I think we also will die for this team. Yeah. But we're gonna try. we are dead. That was 5. 2 wins and 100 losses. Artifacts from a dungeon. Here goes spider, I see. That's 1. Almost 2. That's 2. And this will be our 3rd. And that was 3. Fact and group keys next. Right, we're gonna pick up our Primor shard. then we will do our up there. Our crypt keys. Undead, I don't have any of that. I get no undead I have trained. Over now I only have this team. And we are still going to do it, so yeah, I know. Okay, let's do this then. Just to get on with Laura. One. Two. That's two. Det var 4. Det var 5. Og så et battle til. Og det var 6. And that was 6. I'm done with the faction wars. For now. Next is Demon Lord keys. I don't know if we get 50. As I completed 2 quests, I think we did. And then I'm just for fun to do this one. We have no chance to do 3 millions damage. But we're gonna try. Not doing much damage on him, but just to get some points for the normal Demon Lord and work our way up. If I get more than 1.7, was that what I had? I'm happy. That's a new record for Demon or normal. No, I did 1.3, I think. So over 1.5, I'm happy. I start to struggle when past boss turn 15. Then then I start to struggle when I'm so early in the game. $1 million, and we have passed level 50, round 15 for the boss counts. As you can now, I'm taking much more damage. $1.5, I'm happy. But I don't think we get 1.5. There's your good devil. Then we only have the Cheshire Cat left. And there is that. We have 1.4. It's our record. But that's all for today. We'll be back on Friday with another stream for this account. So I see you on Friday, and you will all have a nice day, and I see you on the next one. Later, Raiders, and good night.